Before you become a human being, everything happens automatically, naturally. You don't have to make any effort. But once you are a human being, then nothing happens automatically. Even if something is to happen, you have to cooperate. You have to be receptive. Otherwise, it won't happen. Even if it happens, you won't be benefited. You have 2-3 minutes time to do your degree.
I feel very fortunate to be guided by Swami, really. And I'm very glad that the understanding which I mentioned yesterday, that whatever Swami asked me to do, whether it's create video, meditate, make the book, become vegetarian, everything is to know the consciousness or to raise the consciousness. So luckily, although it took 4 years, but luckily now that I understand the things you asked me to do are very, very significant. And I feel that this understanding is going to change how I do things. In the future, the choices I make will be things that is to discover, to raise the consciousness, will become more important than things are for a pleasure or entertainment for the body or the mind. And I realized that many, not to say many, but the people around me, none of them are meditators. None of them are in the search for consciousness, in the search for truth. So they will always, their priorities will always, how to say, like their priorities will always be those things that is to and to get money, to live in comfort and all that. So, and I feel that I am ready to live my life the way I want without their intervention, without their help. I felt I was so stupid. I was so stupid that it took me 4 years to understand. I have done so far all the things that Swami asked me to do. So far I have done. Just one thing that I didn't manage to do is I didn't manage to drop the medication. That's the thing I don't manage to do. But I feel that it's not that I never tried. I really tried. There was a period of time where I didn't take it regularly. But after that, it wasn't, my body didn't respond well to that. So now I'm taking it regularly. Because this medicine, it needs you to take regularly for it to work properly in your body.
But how you know this? It may be they want you to take. So they have hypnotized you, they have programmed you for that.
Because I've seen the difference in my productivity when I am stable and when I was not taking it regularly. So
these are all hypnosis. Thing is that if you are addicted to something and you drop it suddenly, then for some time, for certain time, you will feel some problem. So, and it has gone deep inside you in your unconscious that without it you cannot function well. So instead of dropping anything, first thing you have to drop this hypnosis, this conditioning, this program that you cannot function without this medicine. Whether you are taking it or not taking is not that important. You have to understand that because you have lived unconsciously. So whatever you have done it unconsciously. Now the first thing is that this idea that has gone very deep inside you that medicine is absolutely necessary for you to function well. This has to go. For that you need to have more willpower. It's not so good to say willpower. It's better that you need more pranic energy. You need more inner confidence. And confidence happens when you become more conscious. So at present, don't focus on dropping the medicine. I have told you before also. If something is like it works only when you go on taking it, then there is no need to drop. But once this conditioning, this seed which has grown into a big tree, you are freed from that conditioning, then it can drop or it may not drop. So in both the cases, that is not so significant and important. If your body needs certain chemicals which it is lacking, then accept it. You need to do something positive. You need to do something which makes you more conscious. These things are irrelevant. Whether you are taking, this is all going into the body. And spirituality means knowing that you are not this body mind. If body needs, give it, but don't go on increasing doses. Keep it to the minimum which is needed. Otherwise, if you are all the time involved in the body, that you have dropped the medicine and now you have to drop meditation also, then it is of no help. Become more conscious. That is what is said to all other people who are like those people who are addicted to cigarette. Forget about cigarette. Just try to be more conscious. If you become more conscious, it drops. It's good. I have been telling you from the very beginning, if it doesn't drop, then accept it. But at least have this strong will that on those days when you have holidays, you will get up early, whether your body is willing or not, you're feeling tired, you have to give a jerk to yourself. Your will has to be stronger than the laziness of your body. Because body follows the first law of Newton. It follows the law of inertia. It wants to be in that state where it is. It doesn't want to change. Willpower is also needed as long as you are identified with your mind. The mind has to be stronger than the body. I'm not saying that you have to take Hanumana's jump. Begin with small steps. First start swimming in the swimming pool, then in the pond, then in the river, then you can enter into the ocean. But one has to begin somewhere. At least you decide to wake up early in the morning 1 or 2 days. That will make you stronger. That will create inner confidence that I can do it. Instead of focusing on the medicine, which is totally stupid, whether you are taking or not. Even if you are not taking and you are not becoming conscious, then what is the point? So the You have to do something positive. You have to become creative. You have lived an unconscious life as everyone else. So whatever wrong you have done to the body or whatever addiction you have created, the only way it can really go naturally is by being more conscious. And if it doesn't go, then that has to be accepted. So if the whole energy is just focused on being more conscious, we are not becoming conscious because we are interested in other things. We are interested in sense pleasure. We are interested in all kind of other things. This is not the first priority in our laundry list. So many things are more important, or at least as important. Then the energy gets scattered, becomes scattered. So if whatever you are doing, your only interest, central theme, or the center of everything is to be more conscious. But a person who is interested only in pleasure, in stimulation of sense organ, that person is not a fit candidate to be more conscious. I'm not saying that you have to torture your body. You have to, if pleasure is happening naturally, you have to do something against it. But their importance is limited. For a while, anything is pleasurable. The same thing becomes painful after some time. One has to keep things in right perspective, in right place. So only a person who has enough of all those things, at least he has understood that it is all moving in this circle. It is not making me more mature, more intelligent, more free and liberated. It is creating more and more bondage if I am a slave to all kind of things which comes from outside. That makes me more dependent on outside thing. The only thing which can liberate you is not to depend on outside things. I'm not saying don't use outside things, but whether you are able to have them or you are not able to have them, there should not be much difference. If you have something, it's good. If you don't have something, then also it is good. But the whole work has to be in trying to become free from your mechanical habits. Otherwise, you are moving toward becoming a robot or a machine. Even animals are better than that, because they cannot become machines. They are what the nature intended them to be. They cannot transcend, they cannot go beyond it, and they cannot go below it also. But human being can become automaton. What is the new word for it? The humanoid. They can become humanoid. So one has to be very alert if you love yourself. That means not the body, the self. If you love your center, the very center of your existence, then you will not allow yourself to be reduced into a robot. That's why one has to live a very diligent and very intelligent life. That is why in India, in Upanishads, it is said that it is walking on the razor's edge. You are little unalert, little sleepy, and then you can fall. But only a person who has become matured will become interested in being more conscious, in being more loving. That is not that more loving, it is some quantity that you have to drop all the impurities, which is in creating hindrance in your love energy to flow, to become more purified. The same is true about consciousness also. It is there. You don't have to create it. But you are identified with things which is creating disturbance, which is creating obstacle in knowing that consciousness, in being that consciousness. So no one has time to waste. If you have some intelligence, you will know that you have very limited time, and energy goes on becoming less, physical energy. So this is the right time. So the only right way to live is to be total. Whatever you are doing, just be totally involved in that. Don't allow your energy to go into past and future. When your energy is totally involved in whatever you are doing, that becomes meditation. Itself becomes a meditation. This is what it is said. This is what Krishna said. Don't seek fruits of your action. You have the right to do things, but you don't have the rights to the fruit. Fruit will come at its right time. But if you are seeking fruit, you won't be able to be total in whatever you are doing. You just be interested only in the action, whatever you are doing. Do it properly, result will come on its own. And the reality is that when you do the action totally, then you get the fruit in the very act itself. That's why I said that when you are making video, just make it with your total love, with your total commitment, your total attention. If you are thinking that I'm wasting time, then it will be a wastage of time. If you want to make this world more beautiful, if you want to see this world more beautiful, then you have to do something. Whether whatever you are doing helps in any way or not, that is not in your hand. Otherwise, no one will begin anything. That what will happen, I am just a small person who will listen to me. That is not for you to worry about. For you is to do what you can do and then leave the rest to existence. If more and more people are positive like this, then things will happen. That is what Satyuga is. We are living in Kali Yuga. It's not just a period or a time. Kali Yuga means when most of the people are very unconscious. They are very sleepy type people. And those people, those who are, their sleep is broken, but they are yawning. They are awake on your bed. They are living in Dwapar. Dwapar means now you have two legs of a stool. And then if you have three legs, that means now you have stood up and you are ready to go, move in the right direction. You are no longer yawning. Your laziness is broken. Then it is Treta. Now you have three legs of the tripod. You are now a tripod. And Satyuga is when you have become totally conscious, when you are living a life of truth. A life where truth is dictating your actions, not lies. So a man of Satyug, he is not waiting for anything. He is now moving. That is what Buddha said. Chare veti, go on moving, go on moving. Don't stop anywhere. It's not that once you have entered into your souls, it is finished. That is the beginning. That is the very beginning. Because it is unending. It is infinite, so you can never finish it. You can never claim that you have come to a full stop. It is always an ongoing process. That's why those people who have come to know themselves, they say that enlightenment is only the beginning. But we think we are not even enlightened, that such a arduous thing. This is it hurts the ego, it hurts. We are always waiting that one day we will complete the journey and then we can go to sleep. But you have to see it in the right way. If it is an ongoing process, then the life will never become boring. You will always remain fresh. You will always remain new. There will be always something to explore. You can never measure the depth of this infinite existence. You will go on being more and more drowned, but you will never reach to the, what do you call it? Its surface. So why there is unwillingness to make video?
It's not unwillingness, just that yesterday I went to rest.
So
Never mind, Swami,
don't
today I will make.
Don't go to rest.
Okay.
Drink more coffee. Drink coffee. First make it, then go to rest.
Okay, Swami, okay.
When you are very much like you, when you have to check the copy, then first you try to finish it, then only you go to your bed. That shows that you think you are the body. So you know that if you don't check the copy, then you will have some problems. But in these things, if someone else is forcing you from outside that you do it, then you will not grow. You have to decide on your own.
Okay.
I am trying to read books because if you have to speak on something, if you have more information, it's better. It will be. And I have not read much before, so now I think this is the best possible use of time in my place. All the time you cannot go on sitting with your closed eyes. There is nothing much here. You have to be in your room, and even in your room there is not fresh air. It's not that you feel you are in jungle. Otherwise you can go on sitting, but still reading is a good thing. It is good only when you know that it is just information. Just by reading you can never know yourself. This is all going in your brain. It can in some way just help you, like a milestone, that this is or a map. But about outside thing, about objects, about this objective world, that is the only way to be more informed. So one need to be very clear about it. If you want to know yourself, then nothing from outside can help. It can be of some help just to help you to turn in. because you are not outside. So from outside, there is no possibility that even if some listening to a master and suddenly you are enlightened. That it also happens within you. You have created a receptive state. You have become totally open. You have become very sensitive. You are totally alert. Then things can happen. But everything is happening within you. Otherwise, if the master goes on speaking to the wall or to a dog or a donkey, nothing is going to happen. And most of the people are like that. Otherwise, one Gautam Buddha could have made the whole world enlightened if people were open. But even in zoos, they mistreat the animals so much. Like there is one elephant. They have chained its legs so it cannot move much. It's so painful for it. I can feel it. That many times I have thought to talk with them, but I know that they will not listen. So they say that it was caught in some forest and it was like mad with anger. So they brought it here. But what is the point to keep it in chain here? These idiots, these people, they don't understand. If you are kept in chain, how you will feel. If you can understand even this much, you will not keep anyone in chain. Otherwise, send it back to some deep forest. Why you have to keep it? And India, this hypocrisy is that we worship all these animals as they are also part of God, because God is in everything. Elephant is regarded very wise in India, and they are. But this is the respect you are showing. This is the understanding. So, but if you are unconscious, then you cannot empathize with anything. You cannot understand others' pain. Just yesterday, I was listening to one of the chief of army staff of India. I told you to buy his book on Kindle. Colonel, his name is V.K. Singh. So he was talking about some wars in which he was involved. So one was Bangladesh war, where so some captain of Pakistani army was caught by them. So when he got the opportunity to talk with V.K. Singh, he said that I have not eaten anything for 2 days. He said, I have also not eaten anything, but I have something for emergency, some sweet thing, some para or something he was saying. Sakkar para or something, I forgot the name. He said that this is my emergency thing. It was just sweet, something like. So he gave it to him, this Pakistani captain. But the man was keeping the food in his hand and he was not eating it. So he understood immediately, V.K. Singh. He thought that this man is thinking that there must be some poison or something. So he took that from his hand and he first ate it. Then there were tears in his eyes of this captain or whatever his post was. He said that, then he said, why you are weeping? He said that we have been told in Pakistan that once you are caught by Indian army, they will beat you, they will hit you, they will hurt you, they will pierce their weapon in your body, they will chop you in pieces. In every way, they will humiliate you. But this is totally different. So this is how they are conditioned, that because they do such kind of things, so they have to condition their soldiers that this is what Indian army is very cruel. Though I think it must be perhaps the one of the best or the best, because anywhere that's where so many enlightened people are born cannot be so cruel. And it is because of the outside influence, maybe they have become also corrupt and polluted. Otherwise, if all these invaders were not coming in India, though in other countries they have been almost 100% successful in converting the whole countries. But in India, thousands of years of their raids and their invading, still they are not that successful. So, and though everyone wanted to come to India because India was called a golden bird, once it has commanded 1/3 of the whole GDP of the world. Maybe before that, maybe even more, because this has been a study of some British very famous economist, a very recent thing that when the Muslims invader came in India, it commanded 1/3 of the whole GDP of the world. Then later on, China became number one and India became number two. Because these Muslims were just looting. They were just interested in their own luxury. So, and when India defeated Pakistan in this war, because they were being very cruel to its eastern part, which was also part of Pakistan, which is now Bangladesh. So, because they were small people and they were Bengali speaking, so the Punjabis from Pakistan, they were inferior people. So, they were raping their women. They were in every way. They said that in one generation we will change the whole population. So, not just with Hindus, with Muslims also, they were doing in the same thing. So Indira Gandhi, when she was asked to interfere, then she sent her troops. And actually, the one who should have become the Prime Minister or President of Pakistan was Mujibur Rahman, whom they have kept in jail. So, in the war, India defeated it so badly that 93,000 of Pakistani soldiers were captured. And they could have captured most of the Pakistan, but that was not their objective. Their objective was to liberate Bangladesh, to make it into a new country. And because Mujibur Rahman was kept in the prison, so that was the deal. We will give you all your prisoners back, and you free Mujibur Rahman, because the whole world was against India at that time. So they didn't want to do anything unethical. So that is why they interfered, just to make Bangladesh into a free country. So then they freed all these 93,000 prisoners. And they were treated totally according to the Geneva Convention, that they were not mistreated. They were in every way, whatever prisoners should be treated, the way they should be treated. Well, they were treated very well, and these Pakistani soldiers were very surprised that in no way they were being humiliated. But if you see other countries, whether it is China or Japan or any other country, they humiliate those prisoners of war in such a way which is absolutely unimaginable. They do anything. Even Japanese are very, very cruel in that. Chinese are also very cruel in that. When I say very cruel, and for Japanese I use very, very cruel, I'm not saying that Chinese are less, but I don't know who is more. So, and he was saying that VK Singh that we wanted to change them also, and it had affected them also because of our treatment. So most of the people who were like those people who were imprisoned by India, among the 93,000, most of the people after they were freed, they didn't join the army. They came out of it. So this is the way you can, in some way, change even those who are butchers, who are so cruel. So that's why I have some respect for Indian Army. I have some respect for this country, because it is the only hope in a way. Otherwise, the whole world is not a single country is being guided by consciousness. India, to some extent, is still not dead. I'm not saying that everything is perfect. It is very imperfect, but at least there is some glimmer of light. Because some people are devoted, but I cannot give anyone any certificate until things goes on being more according to the consciousness. So China will make more and more attempt to eliminate Modi. This is because they have eliminated Shinzo Abe. Most probably it is Chinese work. They have the Indian CDS, Mr. Rawat, he was also, it looks like it is Chinese work. And when Modi was just caught on the breeze in Punjab, that also looked somewhat like a Chinese design. So slowly they have been able to eliminate all those people who were friendly towards India. What do you think?
I don't know politics, Swami.
What do you mean by you don't know politics?
Because you asked me what I think, ma.
Politics is in your mind. Every mind is a politician. If it is not making effort to be conscious. So if someone says that I do not know politics, he is talking shit.
Okay.
These politicians are not coming from some other planet. They are part of us. In any country, if the government is like this, then you cannot just say that only the government is like this. People have chosen that government. That means they're in their collective mind. They are like that. Otherwise, no government can come out of nowhere. If there is some effect, there must be some cause.
If you like our videos, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.